this 40% benchmark thing is that it has nothing to do with students who get 40% correct, considered benchmark. It's a percentile rating, not a percent correct and percent wrong. So what it's saying is that students who scored at the 40th percentile or better are considered proficient according to our data, and here's why. Because when you have enough data that you can stratify out, you'll get what's called a bell curve. Okay, and that's exactly what we have here, is enough data per grade level around the country that I can say that there is an average score for a third grader. Okay, and that's represented here as the mean, which is halfway between the middle of our data. So 50% of the students scored here above the average, 50% scored below. Within this benchmark of a bell curve, you have standard deviations. One standard deviation from the mean, it will include about 67%. That's not an exact number, but it's about 67% of your kids. And so they chose the percentile of 40 because that would be right in here and that might not be dark enough to see it. I'm going to have to press hard. But that means that 40% of the kids who took the assessment and scored in here are considered benchmark because it's within one standard deviation of the mean, plenty. So what they found was that students who scored here in the 40th percentile were getting about 70 to 75% of the material correct on the assessment. It has nothing to do with them getting 60% wrong, or if they get 40% right, then we're considering them proficient. And then up in here, you've got two standard deviations from the mean, both below and above. And this is where you start getting into that advanced stage, and then your intensive and strategic stage out here. So if a kid takes the STAR assessment and they score here, between the 40th and 50th percentile, let's say it's 45%, they're considered to be proficient because they've scored about 70 to 75% of the questions correctly, because they fall within this benchmark of 40%.